will decide the fate of Pita Limjaroenrat of the Move Forward Party as to whether he will become the next Prime Minister of Thailand. And it turns out that Pita didn't pass the 375 benchmark for him to become the next Prime Minister, which is somewhat expected in a way.
Yeah, yes, we have to say that because for his coalition, he got only like 312 and he need like 50, 60 votes more. And you cannot be certain you're going to win when you don't when the gap is that big.
It's a very big gap because he actually needs about 64 votes, particularly from the senators, in order to be chosen as the next prime minister. So to give you a recap of what has been happening, as well as some background information, Move Forward Party leader Pita Limjaroenrat is the main candidate for the prime ministerial position. And as you just said, he is backed by a coalition of 8 political parties with a combined 312 MPs. And since Move Forward Party won the May 14 general election, so they got 151 seats in total, and the coalition has a majority in the House of Representatives, and that would be actually enough to elect Pita as the Prime Minister if the MPs are only allowed to vote. But this time, because the 250 senators are allowed to join the lower house in electing the prime minister, anyone who is nominated for the seat needs a majority support from both houses or at least 375 votes. And just to give an update, one senator has resigned just right before the parliamentary vote as well. So based on the parliamentary voting, which concluded about 6 p.m. today, if we can have the result up on screen, Pita got only about 324 votes, while 182 voted against and 199 abstained. And like we said, the senators would be a turning point as well. And most of them abstained, either abstained or actually voted against.
Some of them didn't even show up.
Exactly,
today.
And that was really surprising or not, but it's like some sort of movement.
The thing is, if you're gonna say no, just come out and say no, show your face. I mean, just be confident in what you do.
Exactly, but at least there are 13 senators that voted for Pita, and some of them have previously said that they will not go against the people's will, that, okay, they have chosen the Move Forward Party, they have chosen Pita, then respect the decision. But it looks like that most of them did not think this way, with about 159 of the senators abstained from the vote.
Well, Pita said right after the voting that he accepted the results, but he is not giving up. He will find a new strategy. The party will find a new strategy, trying to gain votes from the member parliaments and senators in the next round, while admitting that the second voting will not be easy. The first one is difficult. The second one will be probably even more difficult. When asked whether he would compromise on the amendments of the least majesty law, he said that the mission still remains the same as he has already promised the people. So I'm not sure how it's going to be.
Right, because even though there's going to be another parliamentary voting next week, how can we be sure that there will be any sort of change after this? Because with the senators that did not turn up, we still don't even know what their standpoint is.
I always say to people, if you want different answer, you have to ask different question, because if you ask the same question, you're probably going to get the same answer. And this, if we do the vote again, asking the same question with the same choice, we're probably going to get the same answer, most likely.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Unless they have like another candidate to compare. That would be a completely different story, which we do not have at the moment.
Or Move Forward have to do something to change people's mind. I don't know. Anyway, let's hear from Pita a little bit. He spoke very briefly to the press before walk away after the vote today.
With the results of what happened in the parliament today, I accept it, but I'm not giving up. In very short, I accepted that I couldn't reach 376. I got 324, and there's 200 abstains. I also accepted that it's below expectations in the sense that a lot of people didn't come to become quorum, as well as not voting as they wish, and I understand that there's a lot of pressure on them, as well as several incentives that didn't allow them to vote in alignment with the people. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to strategize once again how to consolidate voice just to make sure that we reach 376 later on.
And to put this into perspective, we now have Dr. Jet Thonawadick in the studio. So with the results, it is obvious from the beginning that Pita will not pass, right?
I think what you were saying in the beginning of the show, Nat, was clear. You said that it was expected. Okay? Has it been speculated? That's one thing. That it might or it might not. Pita might turn out to be elected. Pita might not turn out to be elected. It was not so sure. But what you've said is very clear. It was expected. Why was it expected this way? I think it's from the beginning. Okay, on the 14th of May, when the number was still unstable, the uncertainty number was about 160 on move forward. Okay, that's a sort of drastically increasing number as compared to what they gained 4 years ago. Okay, however, last 4 years they got 80, 90. Okay, you can't say anything. Okay, now you get about 150, 160. You still cannot say anything, because you see, if you want to strike the majority of the House, the majority of the House will have to be at least 251. So when it turned out, the certainty of the number, it was 151. Now it is still 151. It's 100 more that they need. Okay, they went to gain from the number 2 party, which, let's say this, in a multiverse, in a parallel universe, which in a parallel universe that had no senator voting.
Right.
Whatever happened, Move Forward will never be able to form a government. Never. Why? Because they are only up 10 and Pheu Thai was only down 10.
Right.
Okay, as a number 2 party, which normally happens in a parliamentary system country, the number 2 party will sit back and relax and watch what happens with the number 1. Can the number 1 find other parties to become the coalition? Look, from the beginning, when they went around to thank people, they said, "You rat, you cockroach, you need to die, okay? You uncles,
Yeah.
you crazy senators."
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that Senator said too, that you have been calling us names and now you want
You see?
our votes.
Yeah, and they were saying that shut down. I don't know whether they say you shut your mouth, okay, but they say shut down. You have to shut yourself down, you senators. But today, Kun Pita was saying that, no, you can't shut yourself down. You have to come out and vote because the people already gave me
The mandate.
the mandate. Okay, gave you also the mandate. And what he was saying, he said that, see, the majority of the people, plus it was a consensus. What sort of a consensus is that? When you are saying consensus, the highest consensus is unanimous, right? And when you use the word consensus, at least you have to strike half of whatever it is. Let's say we're sitting here, and then we say it's a consensus among us. It normally
at
needs
least-
to be all of us, at
Right,
least,
right,
right?
right.
To say unanimously consensus, which is a very good sound. In some sort of sound, okay, is 2.
Talking
Okay.
about the word consensus, the other day he was just talking about how they negotiate with Pheu Thai and he used the word consensus building.
Yeah. What he was saying, consensus building, this is very harmful because you see, I even heard from very renowned academic, Move Forward gained 300 something. You didn't gain 300 something. You gained 150 something, okay, and you were supported by another 140.
Right.
So that means you can put together. Okay? So I think that's the first problem.
Right.
The second problem I've already said, that you went around and you were like cursing the whole country.
And rounding up
Yeah.
their own
Yes.
strong supporters, already supporters,
That's right.
rounding
That's right.
them up.
Third, they were attacking the other voters. When they're attacking the other voters, okay, they might feel that it's a smart strategy. And in saying that, you see, you all newcomers, you all new generations, all these people, you are like going to take over the country one day. I think this is a very wrong strategy.
So maybe what they should have been doing, this is what I ask myself too, and ask their supporters sometime, because they already know they have this many supporters. Maybe they should have spent time trying to change mind of people that on the fence between supporting or not supporting them, right?
Yeah.
That might give them some more momentum, or I don't know.
Like someone in the
something.
middle.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see, in a sense of tourism, when people talk about Thailand, they say this is a land of smile, a land of modest people. Okay, so when we are the land of smile, when you talk to people, you need to smile more. And it's a land of modesty. That means you have to be humble. And the very humbleness that you have to deliver, okay, or demonstrate to the people is that I might be elected your prime minister. I might have a chance to form a government. However, I will have to talk to all these other parties. I don't shut down any parties. I want to get over all these conflicts. I want to also get over all these quarrels among all of us. I don't want this country to be, polarizing.
Right, but now it is very, very much
That's
divided.
gone too long. And you see,
Right.
you come up with, we don't needภูมิใจไทย. Okay? We don't needภูมิใจไทย. We don't think about Democrat, of course. We think forming only us in the beginning and
Right,
Pheu
right.
Thai would be enough.
So they're narrowing down their
That's
own
right. That's
possibility.
right. We send our message to the senators. You have to elect us because we got the consensus of the people.
And they forget that most senators are a different generation as well. So they
That's
might,
right.
the way I communicate with them
Yes. Yes.
might need something
That's right.
different.
And I think the third problem for them, which is wrong for me, they said about all these new generations, which is not true. The 14 million votes that gave them came from all the generations. I think they also got the baby boomer,
Right, right.
right? And all the way until X, Y, Z.
Because it's a
Okay,
majority,
and the
it's the
alpha.
most popular.
I think
yeah.
they got all of the
Right.
generations. Okay, and when they put this as we gain from the new generation, think about the other voters that gave you votes. How will they feel? And I'm very sure that among all the 14 millions, not all of them want you to revise. Just take the word revise, not abolishing. Okay, just revise.
Well, would it be fair to say that Pita and its coalition has been way too confident so far?
Yes.
Or maybe
Yes.
they try to show their confidence, but they're not really. Is it possible?
It's more like you said, it's like, okay, we're going to be your prime minister, we're going to lead the country, but like you said, it could have been in a more humble way.
That's right.
But
That's right.
anyway, I think the biggest question right now is they said the next one will be on the 19th,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right.
What is the scenario on the 19th? Are they going to redo this whole thing again, like the same
yeah,
whole thing,
yeah.
calling a person by
Yes,
name
they'll have to
and
do
all-
that. They will have to
and
do
then nominate the
If there's a
same-
vote, they will have to do
and
that.
nominate the same. It's going to be the same thing, and they will expect something different,
Let's say this, pretty much the same.
right?
What I think, or I speculate that will be happening, is that the vote will just come. I don't think they will have once again a discussion. I don't think they will have all this
Oh,
process.
right,
And you see,
right.
many people was calling me, were calling me up and asked me, Ajahn, let's say, the whole thing, the whole 6, 7, 8 hours was indeed to pave way for move forward to talk to people during that time, right? And to speak themselves again to the public and to allow other parties, especially the senators, to have some word with all the other public
Right, right.
members. Why did they choose to elect Kun Pita? I think many people try to lead the bridge to Pita's house, but he did not step on it. I think one of the members, okay, the representative, the House representative was Kun Withaya Paradai. I think he said it clear. You come up and you say no revision to 112. if there's no revision to 112, okay, things will be different.
Right.
But Kun Pita come up to say, and he's not saying that.
Yeah, because that is one condition that I don't think he's gonna give concession,
Yes.
because it's one of the things
Yeah.
that people vote for the
You
party.
see, people were asking me, why was it such a problem, revision of Section 112? I was telling them, I don't know why is it such a problem. You see, I've written once on revision of Section 112, long time ago, and as I remember, I think it was on Bangkok Post. Okay, long time ago, long time before there was even the Future Forward.
Right.
Okay, when it was, I think that was the reign of King Rama IX. Okay, I wrote about revision, and then the university in Hong Kong, okay, Hong Kong University, asked me to speak about this, and I went to speak about it, and then people asked me about revision, and I told them, you see, there might be a sense in which a revision need to be had. Why? First of all, people were saying that the punishment was too strong, okay, was too high, okay, the use of it was too controversial, so on and so forth. So I was speaking about revision, right? I think in a sense of revision, if you want to talk about revision, and if you want to bring all the people to sit back and talk in a dialogue, in a way in which there can be fruitful discussions, and maybe we don't get an answer, okay? We might just be discussing for the discussion. We might just talk to talk, but we might not yet be able to walk the walk. But this is why it's a different thing, okay? When you were talking about revision of 112, if it's really a revision, okay? Look, when he was on stage, Kun Pita, the two movement, okay, spearhead movements, they came up and they said, okay, Kun Pita, you choose about abolish and revise. Kun Pita said, okay, I myself, I abolish, but the party will be revised. You see, one foreign channel called me up. Hey, Dr. Jade, is it possible that a leader of a party in the middle of a campaign say that this is me, this is the party? Can you guys accept that? Do you do this in your country? But in our country, we don't do this. In our country, the leader will have to speak the mind of the party, and the mind of the party is within the leader. So if the leader say, well, for me, abolish, but for the party, revise, people will be definitely confused.
Yeah, I think that is one thing though, like during the campaign period, if you ask somebody from Move Forward Party who said abolish, but some other will say just amendments. But the thing is, several months ago or a year ago that we did a special report about amendment of 112.
Yes, yes.
And even the Royalist academic said it need to be amended. It need to be more... It need more detail.
Yes, that's right.
It need to be more comprehensive.
Yeah, I think at least we need a talk.
Right.
Okay, if we're not revising it, we need a talk on it. And people were asking why is it so important? Because if you take it very far and you take it from revision, you take it to abolish, or you take it for not only that it is on national security, but also look at this. We always talk about the three baskets or whatever we call it. Okay. One is the nation. Two is the religions. Three is the king or the monarchy. The monarchy is the only subtle, it's only rigid, okay, body of the three. It's the only touchable and the only tangible among the three.
That's true.
Right? The two might just be a concept. What is the nation? Okay. What is the religions? The king is the only remaining substance. And the king has always been a leader to this country. Yes, the king was not the only figure to win, okay, to have won all the war, let's say this, or
Right.
to have, okay, won all the other wars.
It has been
wars.
one thing that coexistent with the
That's right.
country,
That's right.
with the
Of
culture,
course, all
with
our
everything.
ancestors,
Right,
okay,
right.
whether our ancestors lived that long, because some of our ancestors just came from some other countries. Some of our ancestors lived here for 100, 200, 300 years, okay? Let's say all our ancestors fight together with the king, okay, fought together with the king to come to today. The king is the remaining figure, okay, to be tangible. And the king has been uplifting all the other intangible, okay, factors or baskets. The nation. Many people say the nation was pulled together because of the king. The religions, all the religions were supported
That's true.
and are still supported by the king.
This is the country that all religions can coexist like
That's right.
peacefully.
So let's say without the king, what will happen? It's just like if you ever heard this song, they say without women, earth will fade and die. Right? Who knows? In this country, people might be thinking without the king,
Right,
this
right.
country might fade and die.
Anyway, if we fast forward to the 19th, you think there won't be any more debate on who say what and whatever? It's just going to go straight to the vote.
I think so.
And is there any law or any specification that how many times the party can keep nominated the same person?
This is also a question. Many people were saying that it's a constitutional process.
Right.
Once it's a constitutional process, you can go on and on and on, over and over and over.
Like repeat the same thing.
Repeat the same thing. I think Kun Pita was saying a little bit right and a little bit wrong today about that there has been 15 times in the UK Parliament when they were trying to choose the speaker.
Right.
Yes, of course, the speaker fine. Because the speaker, there's nothing to say that you have to get a support of 1/10
Right.
in order to promote or in order to nominate the name. Okay, that's fine. The speaker in this country is the same. But the prime minister, of course, we can't use the example from the UK, it's totally different. But it seems as if it's a motion. Because when you are proposing a motion, you will have to support it by a number of the members, right? In terms of electing the prime minister, you need a 1/10 to support this person to
So,
become.
are you
So they were
saying-
saying that it is a motion.
Right.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
if they see this as a motion, which we don't know yet.
we don't know yet.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if they see this as a motion, it means as long as there are 10 people, 1/10
Yeah.
of the whole house supported the name of Pita Limjaroenrat, he will be nominated again and
That's
again.
only one thing. The other thing is that the regulation of the parliament itself said that if it's a motion, once the motion fails,
That's it.
then that's it.
Oh.
That's it for the whole session. Whatever it means, the session, parliamentary session, or the session of the cycle where you are having to elect someone again.
So and nothing clear.
Nothing clear. However, it was said that unless something change. So if there's change,
Wait, they said unless something changes.
unless
What changes that anyway?
What
This
changes it
sound like
anyway?
children book unless something
yeah,
changes.
unless the matter changes,
Right.
okay, the speaker can take another, take the same motion again. Things change. Let's say, for example, if this is a motion, Kun Pita was nominated, just one. You nominate Kun Paetongtarn and Kun Pita, that changed. You nominate, again, let's say the second time you nominate Kun Pita and Kun Paetongtarn, it doesn't go through.
Is that what Pheu Thai have been waiting for? Smiling inside?
Well, in this sense, let's say they might have to go through like 3 or 4 times. What people were telling me was that, of course, Pita, just Pita, it's gone, right?
Right.
Pita and Paetongtarn, the senators will still not take this. Why? Because Pita and Paetongtarn, they were still not so sure whether Paetongtarn is still binding with Cao Klai.
Right.
Okay? And if Cao Klai choose to say, okay, we know Pita, we don't choose Pita. Even Pita and Paetongtarn, we will go to choose Paetongtarn. But they are still with Cao Klai. Even so, the senator might say, well, there's still Cao Klai, we don't want Cao Klai.
But
Why-
then
why-
is there like a possibility that Pheu Thai will actually get nominated and finally become the prime minister? How do you determine this possibility here?
That's a can do. But people were saying that in a sense that there can be conspiracy theory, whatever people were talking, okay, they told me that, let's say if Pheu Thai all of a sudden in the second round nominate Paetongtarn and then just didn't take anything with move forward, they will look bad. But if they say, okay, we nominate just because we want something change, okay,
Right.
but move forward was thinking that would be too bad.
But the thing is, if Pheu Thai nominate their own prime ministerial candidate, they probably have to vote for their own prime ministerial candidate, right?
Yeah.
Or
But then you have to talk, right? If
Right.
you talk, then move forward will be electing themselves, right? Pheu Thai will be electing themselves, of
and
course,
we will not get prime minister
and
again.
maybe the
Right.
other parties did not vote. The senators did not vote. Why? Because they still think that the two are binding together. So ก้าวไกล move forward will be pressure to move away from Pheu Thai, not Pheu Thai away. So Pheu Thai will have to do this. The bundling will have to be very tight from Pheu Thai. Pressure move forward to say, oh, I know, I understand. Look at this situation. Okay, let's say now there's a tree. Okay, two people falling off the cliff. The person on top grab the tree.
Who is the person on top?
Let's say the person on top is Pheu Thai. Grab the tree. Okay, the other hand is grabbing, move forward. And they're leaning down to the cliff. The tree is uprooting,
Right.
falling.
Right.
Then Pheu Thai said, you can be stronger. I will pull you up. I will pull you up. But they don't have the strength, right? I will pull you up. And then the tree is coming down.
Right.
Do you have the spirit? Because Pheu Thai can just go. I will be up.
They can
Right.
just drop, move
They can just
forward.
drop, move forward. Why? Because the hand of Pheu Thai was grabbing here, and the hand of move forward was grabbing here. So what are you gonna do? If you move forward, are you gonna pull Pheu Thai and they have to die with you? No, we have to die, the two of us.
But the thing is, if move forward didn't get their prime ministerial candidate to be elected this time around, I believe in next 4 years their fan base is still going strong. They're
You mean
gonna-
move forward?
Yeah, move forward. I think in the next 4 years, possibility is that their supporters just gonna vote for them again. Is it what do you think though? I mean, like, because so far we can see in a marketing sense, Move Forward has been really strong on how they portray everything,
Yes.
how they speak, the choice they made and whatnot, and how they're like, we're not gonna back down, we're not gonna do this, we're not gonna
Yes,
do that,
yes,
because it's all like on in their concept, right?
Depending on what landscapes are you talking about. If we're talking about the landscape of today or the landscape of May, okay, this year, yes, perhaps Move Forward will still come up strong. And maybe Pheu Thai might be down, decreasing
right.
Very drastically. But if the landscapes in the future will not be the same. You see, now I think Pheu Thai learned. The crazy 10,000 baht throw away. I think they
Right.
learned that's
Right.
Doesn't work.
that doesn't work. Okay. Many of the populist policies that all the other parties were trying to push
That
didn't work.
all didn't work.
Okay.
Right.
The way in which they were they did campaigning didn't work. It was very, I don't know, I don't want to use this word. Okay, let's say it was very interesting that when we started, okay, the commission writing the law, we thought of, hey, people might be campaigning by using the internet. Therefore, we wrote in the law, ever since last 6 years, that if you use the internet, we have this rule. And then we throw it to the EC that you should write something on the internet campaigning. Why did we know last 6 years? Why a technology person like Thaksin didn't know? Why none of the party knew of this? Why didn't they think of this? But we who wrote the law thought of this, that there will be internet coming in. And therefore, we wrote things about the internet. We're not campaigners, but we thought that technology will come. But you guys, you never use this. And therefore, Move Forward was almost the only party who used this.
Able to
Now,
utilize it,
hopefully, okay, these people are getting smarter. Okay.
Hopefully they learn and
Hopefully they
change
learn.
their strategy.
So in the next 4 years, this is also the strategy. And the very strategy that they will have now, people were like, oh, Kun Pita, you speak English so good. Many people were telling me, oh my God, I'm so surprised. In this country, there were like, or there are still like 1 million of the kids around that speak like more fluent English than Pita. But people were just, oh, Pita, you speak English so good. That means this is one thing. Okay, that all the other parties will have to find out. No matter how many people, if you have 10 million that speak better English than Kun Pita, any parties will have to find.
Right.
Okay, because now this is one of the things that people are looking on. You might have to find some not good looking people. Okay,
Charismatic
but
enough.
charismatic enough or good manner. Okay, learn how to speak in the public. Okay, know when to talk to this person this way. Learn how to talk See, different ways of
But
campaigners.
that is part of being the country leader, though. I mean, like an ideal country leader would know how to communicate, know how to capture the moments and whatnot. That's I believe that's one of the
we have the
characters.
country leader that kept on saying no problem, no problem, no problem.
Right.
Okay.
No,
And
yeah,
we have the
I-
country leader like, hey you. so, right? So who knows? But those are the old days. I would say those are the old days. The landscape that I'm saying that will be changing can be that all the other parties learn, as well as Pheu Thai. Pheu Thai, look, when I'm not saying bad things to the old people, okay, but look at Pheu Thai when people are sitting. You have most of the baby boomers. Okay, they sit, and even today, many times Kun Wan Nor Mumat said the name of Kun Pita, Picha so many times.
Like they still get their names incorrectly.
Right.
Yeah, did you listen?
Yeah.
He was saying Picha many times. Okay, of course, it's just a small mistake, but it might show something. Okay, and many times he paused to think. This might not happen to Kun Chuan that often.
Right.
Did happen somehow, but that is not often. But today is just the first or the very first time that indeed Kun Wan Mumat was really doing his job. Okay, but he's a little bit slow.
Right.
Okay, of course he's experienced, but people won't allow this in the next 4 years. You will have to find more newcomers. You will have to find the younger generations. So every party now learn. So why does all the party learn? One of the things that might be different is when we were talking about revision to the section 112. If some of the party come out, let's talk about this. Let's do a study. Okay, I know the public, you want this. Okay, but why do we have to attack the king? Why do we have to take the country in discrepancies? You see, when we use this word, discrepancies, it is a division of something that should be similar. But why do we have to divide it? Whereas we can take on a similar step, one at a time, because you want this, right? You want revision, right? We take a similar step. And in the end, we might reach the same thing. You want revision. Do you really want the revision? And you talk to the people. I'm very sure there might be a group of people that think, oh, yes, that's right. That's a revision.
Now come back to the 19 again. You said that you think there won't be any more debate. It will go straight to vote, and the scenario might change or not. If they suddenly go to vote, they call out all 750 people, and if we still not having new prime minister, do they have to just end the day, or they can just like re-nominate someone again?
I think they have to end the day. And let's say, to be fair, to move forward, if you go again, it's just like, okay, you force someone to do the exam, and the person failed the exam, and you say you do it again. How is it possible? He didn't even read a new book. He didn't even find out his
Same
mistakes.
question, same
Just like
choice.
you were saying,
Same
right? You said same question, same answer.
Right.
Right?
You're gonna get the same
Yeah.
answer.
But
So-
is there still a possibility though that those who abstain today can change their mind for next week, especially those who were absent during the parliamentary vote?
This is very interesting. Someone said, let's do this. If we do a little bit of a research, what we find out, there were two parties who indeed abstained almost the whole party, or the whole party, I couldn't remember the number, Democrat and Chat Thai Pathana. The number of the two parties put together should be about, I think, 35 or 36, something like that. So move forward down by about 40 something. So now if they get 30 something from the two parties, what Kunat was asking, how many senators were missing and why were they missing? If they were missing because they don't want to say yes, because things have still been shaky for them to come up and say yes. If, let's say, Kun Pita think more, sit back, relax, talk to the people, should we step a little bit back, telling the whole country what we mean by revision to 112, something like that, and let's go around, talk to the senators. if they gain only another 20 from the senators?
So you mean these 5 days is a chance for Move Forward to
Yes.
do something?
Yes, to do something.
But what would be the best strategy for Move Forward Party in order to get the people who abstain from today's vote to be on their side? Because it sounds like a very difficult task to begin with, whether it's their move with the amendments of lèse majesté law, and we haven't even mentioned about Pita's case with ITV, which is already in the EC already.
And some senator that decide to say abstain, they say that they abstain because they don't want to vote no to against most of the people vote, but they also cannot vote yes themselves. So that means they actually already decide, no?
Pretty much. I would say pretty much. But as Kun Nat was saying, what Kun Nat was saying that those who abstain, okay, that's one thing. But those who didn't show up, I think those who didn't show up, let's say now.
Was it deliberate though?
That's right. It's actually deliberate, okay? But it's deliberate for not coming. But I don't know what people will think of these people, okay? Because Kun Pita has already said clear that these people, you have to come to work.
Right.
Okay, you
it's,
can't
it's
just
a work day for
it's
them.
a work day. You have to come. So whatever they think. But why I was saying about the those who did not show up, because you see those who already said no, can they say yes again? Those who already say yes, of course they won't say no. Those who abstain, will they say yes? That's very hard. But those who did not show up, you don't know whether they didn't show up because of the yes, because of the no, because of the abstain. So they can still come and say yes, they can come and say no, they can come and abstain. But how will it be possible for Kun Pita to bring, let's say, all of them who did not show up? I think it was what, 60, 70 people?
34. 34.
I
Was it
think it
only
was
30?
like 34
Senators.
senators
Okay.
who didn't come today.
And what about the House? There were house representatives who didn't show up?
We didn't have enough information to
Yeah,
share
I don't have
that
the number,
yet.
but let's say, first of all, bring all those people to the chamber first. Okay, when they come, that's the first step. Secondly, once you can woo them into coming to the room, then, okay, once you come to the room, let's say, can you vote for us? But you see, it has to be a quid pro quo. You have to give them something. Okay, you can't just say that, hey, you come and just vote for me. What will be something that they gain? You see, there must be a consideration. Let's say for the two of you to bind in an agreement, the two of you will need to have a consideration. She will have to give you some consideration. You will have to give her some consideration. It must be reciprocity. If there's no reciprocal being given in return, why will the senators elect Kun Pita? Especially the today discussion, I think was very clear when people were banging that Section 112. And now I think
They
all
were
around the
focusing on
country,
that.
people might be saying to all the 13 senators, these people, you don't love the king, you're bad, you know how you got
Right,
here,
right.
whatever.
Like they will like condemn these people.
Yeah, they might be condemning all these people,
But the thing-
reprimanding them, scold them, so they're dead to the ground.
But the thing is, people that didn't show up today, 34 of them, if they don't show up again, all 34 of them on Wednesday, I think it's kind of comical.
Yeah, it might be, and they might look bad.
They look bad for
They
sure.
look bad already. They look bad already.
They will look bad for sure.
Well, like with the senators, they might have looked bad from the very beginning as well, because apart from being absent, there has been a leaked chat between the senators about whether to vote or not to vote for Pita. And there was this term that we discussed the other day about Dak Loy as well. There was like some sort of hidden agenda
Yeah,
in
yeah.
exchange with some sort of deal, as in like
Yeah.
something precious or
Yeah.
a better position.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how's that possible?
Perhaps everything has happened. Okay, all the Jack Gluey, okay, all these banana, all these money, all these pressure, all these threats, and everything. I think it might be possible. All of these.
But if Move Forward being idealistic as their fan hope for, they cannot just trying to give out some concession or giving something for something. That's like against the principle of being, I don't know,
Yeah.
what they believe
Because
it should be.
see, they have already taken this stance, okay, and they took this standpoint to the end, which is today. I was interviewed just about a day or two after the election day, okay, by a foreign correspondent. They asked me, what will I do if I were in Gao Gai's or Kun Pita's shoes? I said, I can't be in their shoes, okay, I couldn't. So let's see. If I'm in that sort of situation, what I will be doing is that I will tell the people from my beginning, last 4 years, that's the time that I kickstart. You gave me 80, 90 seats. Now, 4 years later, you give me 150, 160 seats. It's not enough, people. I'm telling you, it's not enough. I'm going to be your coalition. I'm going to be your opposition. I'm going to be the best opposition to learn. And I don't need any other parties to be
Right.
the
if there be
opposition with me.
Right, right.
But please, people, if you really believe in us, the next 4 years will be the reality of all of us. Give me 300. Give me 300 or 300 more. We will be the only party. We will not be forming coalition with any of the parties.
That would be scary for other party.
Yeah, and we will deliver to you. What we will deliver most is what, Section 112.
The thing is, this is the thing that Pheu Thai has been asking for. They were asking for landslide from their supporters, but it's one.
They're not strong enough.
But it's one thing that Move Forward didn't ask for from their fandom. They didn't ask for landslide.
But I guarantee you, had Move Forward done whatever I said, and they were saying only about Section 112, what will happen in the future will be that they gain as many as now they did. Because as I told you, the number of the people who came out for them, they didn't come out just for revision of 112. They came out for so many factors.
Right.
First, of course, 112. I think maybe about 4 or 5
One
million.
of the main
one of the main
policies.
points. One of the main points. The second is that they are so bored of the lung lung.
They want something different.
They're so bored of the
That's true.
the old people.
I think that's why a lot of their a lot of their politicians got
Yeah.
elected, like all new faces, because they knew.
They are, see, I'm not just saying the old people. I was going to say it more. They are bored of the old people who never modernized themselves.
The old politics.
Yeah, using the old politics or the old ways of politics.
Plus the military way as well.
Pretty much, right? The ugly politics, let's say that. They are bored of that.
Let's say they don't like whatever it is has
Whatever
been
it is.
going on.
The third, the policy, some crazy policy. Many people have warned that if you use crazy policy, especially crazy populist policy, you will not gain votes from those area, those economic zones, those
Right,
economic
right.
areas. And it was true. Phuket, Chonburi, Chiang Mai, see, these are all economic areas.
It's like Bangkok.
Bangkok too,
Yeah.
that's right. 10,000 baht for the Bangkokian for 6 months to be used. Do you want that? Just 10,000 for 6 months. Therefore, they said, oh, that's crazy. We don't take you. The other parties, they're out. Okay, and especially today, I was saying that for those people who abstain, for the two parties, let's say for the two parties whose member abstain, they will have to think hard.
Are you saying that for these 5 days for the 19, yeah, just try gain more votes, just work hard for it, but better look forward to next 4 years
Yes, sir.
and
That's
come
right.
back with landslide? That's probably a better chance for them.
Now, they can still do that. But you see, it will be clear cut and very perfectly delivered had they done what I said.
But the funny thing is that fans already start saying, I see on social media, we can wait another 4 years. Or some of them said, we can go down the list. It can be Rangsiman Rome, or it can be this and that person. It doesn't have to be Pita. It has to be orange.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
their fans are very strong.
You see, the very sense of their fan being very strong is that you can wait really for another 4 years.
Yeah.
But if you, just as I said, if you take another stance, a different stance, as I said that, we are not forming the government. No. Why do we have to do that? Because you see, Pheu Thai, are we forming with Pheu Thai? If we form with Pheu Thai is 140. They will be climbing on our back. They will be pressuring us, and we
Right.
will be down. We will be like underdog. Okay,
Right.
why do we have to do that? And if we form with other parties and they ask us to decrease that, decrease this, cut that, cut this, we cannot give you what we promised. Our performance will be very low, very bad. So we do not perform this way.
So actually, Pita not getting to be the prime minister this time is actually a good gain for move forward for the next election.
Yes, for move forward overall. But you see, because move forward has shown too many of the gray sides, and now the whole world has seen that. This is quite problematic for them. You see, other parties learn, and many people are backing away from move forward. Even the 14 million, they will have to build upon more newcomers. Because you see, they might think that Pita is such a nice person. Pita is confident but not arrogant. Maybe a lot of people, okay, many people I talk to, they say, oh, we didn't think that Pita will be this arrogant. But now we've seen that. So that's the thing. Okay. Oh, we didn't think that he will be such confidence going around the world saying that he's prime minister, elected. Because even American president, when the election went through, never that they say, oh, I'm your president.
He said elected, yeah.
Yeah, I'm president elected, okay? But president elected in the sense of the United States means that I'm not yet your president.
Right,
because
right.
I have to swear in.
Right.
Okay, I have to swear before our Supreme Justice.
Do you think this whole thing is going to bring back the discussion of voting for prime minister directly? Possible?
No. None of a country, okay, none of all these countries in the whole world with constitutional monarchy or with the king as head of state elect prime minister directly.
Why is that?
I think first of all,
Why they associated voting directly the leader of the country with not having the monarchy?
it will take the country into dissimilarities, and the dissimilarities will bring forward a killing zone. Even a country like the United States, which people say they're crazy, they're not indeed a democratic country, they're not indeed directly electing president because they're smart, because the founding fathers were so smart. Because you see, if you take just the popular vote, the bigger states of the United States will be killing the smaller states, and then the whole country, especially the country like that with Second Amendment, they kill each other all the time. It can happen to this country, and it can happen to any country. So a direct vote for any country, even for presidential election, is very, very harmful. And if you look all around the world, a direct election on the head of state or on the head of government, okay, it's very rare. They normally find some ways of electing this head of the government.
Right.
Because if this person gained popularity and a high popularity, it can be very bad. Especially a country, as I said, with monarchy.
The thing is, why don't we just get rid of the Senate's power in electing a prime minister?
Oh, the provision will end next year.
We should do that. But Kunat, I'm telling you, I already told you, in a multiverse, okay,
In the
with the
multiverse.
parallel universe, without senator, move forward will have gone from the picture a long time ago.
Right.
Because no way Pheu Thai will be forming coalition with them. Yeah.
Right. Which is
what?
quite interesting.
Oh yeah, because
I mean,
there's
all my
the second biggest-
foreign friends ask me, this is interesting. We don't care about the senators.
But the thing is, when they were fighting for the House speakership, Pheu Thai supporters actually came out and apologized for Pheu Thai's behavior that didn't give the mandate to move forward to just get what they're supposed to get. And I think that's actually should give Pheu Thai a thought about what their supporters actually see or want.
See, look, when you watch movie, and when this person walk into the scene, oh, this is a bad guy.
Right.
If it's like that from the beginning, what do you think? But if this person walk into the scene and you thought all the whole time until the end, and you just realize, oh, this is the bad guy. But in the end, the bad guy got everything already. There was a movie that this guy killed someone, and the lawyer was trying to help him. In the middle of the scene of the film, this person, okay,
Wait,
who was
so-
convicted, okay, grab the neck, okay, grab the throat of the lady who was
Right.
girlfriend to the lawyer,
What
and then
movie?
in the end, and in the end, okay, this guy was free because he won the case.
Right,
The
right,
lawyer
right.
won the case for him. When he went to thank the lawyer, he said, "Oh,
I have to
thank you very much, but say sorry to your girlfriend. That day I choked her too hard." And that was the end. Why does Pheu Thai have to say they do that, do this because of what? Why don't they just dramatize everything and show their spirit? Kun Thaksin said very clearly, even if Move Forward did not ask us to join, we will still give our vote to them because what? Because we are high spirit. We have spirit. We what? What are we? We Pheu Thai. Yes, we lose. We lost. Fine. I learned, but I know why we lost. Because of the AI. We know why we lost because of the IO.
Right.
We know we lost because of what? He already said the whole thing that
Right.
what happened to me.
Right.
I know what you did to me. Okay, I know what you did last summer. Okay, so you were killing a whole bunch of people. I know that.
Right.
And you were also trying to kill me. However, I'm not dead.
So the fight between Pheu Thai and Move Forward in next election, we already fast forward to next election,
Yeah.
will be even more fierce.
Yes, but it might not be a fight between Pheu Thai and Move Forward. Pheu Thai, in a sense of being Pheu Thai, might have to form, let's say, some group of people, just as to gain votes from those people who still believe in the old Pheu Thai. And they will have to form a new party to show that they can match up with Move Forward. If Move Forward is still sticking with whatever policy they have today and they don't change, I'm sure in the future people will get over so many things.
Oh.
And if people are getting over, let's say, if people are thinking, hey, if we don't curse, if we don't scold, if we don't reprimand, if we don't say bad things to the king, if we don't try to attack His Majesty, will there be a problem of 112? What really happened here? What really happened to the school? Can we remain the only country in the whole world where we still have uniform? Can't we? Do we really have to come
We're
up?
not the only country in the world that has
No,
uniform.
but I'm saying that if let's say if we
Right,
now
right.
if
that
we
is
now
such a big
are the
problem.
only country in the world, if we remain the only country in this whole world to
Right.
wear uniform to school, what's the problem? Can't we be unique? Well, we're the only country who's never been colonized, right? Is that uniqueness? It's
Right.
uniqueness. Why we can tell the whole world that this is our uniqueness? Do you want to colonize other people or do you want to be the colony? You don't. You don't want to colonize other people and you don't want to be the colony. So you remain the only country. Why can't we be unique in this sense? And why can't we just wear uniform? The only country. Why we have to spare so much of a liberty, of a freedom to one student? And why do we have to uphold so much on this? When people realize, are we crazy or what? And why are we going just only for this matter?
Right.
Whereas we're still poor. Whereas we still have little money.
I asked one of the activists why they think 112 is the biggest problem in their mind. When, from my perspective, I agree with you. There's like economic problem, there's like inequality and whatnot. The answer was that it's because it's one thing that it cannot be questioned, and they believe when it cannot be questioned, it's a problem. It's like, okay.
What's the question? See, many people were asking like banging question. Do you want to know, prior to meeting your dad, how many guys have your mom dated? And vice versa. Do you want to know that? You want to know like to the end, Mom, so how many guys have you dated? Dad, how many gals have you dated? You want to know all about all those things? Dad, how did you make money? Mom, have you ever steal? Do you want to know everything about everybody? Do you really want to know that? And if there's some personalized issue of the king, do you want to know all of that? And you want to say bad things to the king. You can't even say bad things to each other like this. Relax. Know the thing that you were supposed to know. Learn the thing that you were supposed to learn. Ask for the thing that you were supposed to ask for. If you want some information of the king, I think you can't get those information. If you want to review whatever, you might be asking for a reviewing. If you want to criticize, I think you can. And I think His Majesty King Rama IX said it clearly, that you can criticize, but criticism is different.
But I think the problem now with 112 is like people use it politically. Like
Yes.
the way they use it.
It's
Yeah.
like they use it as a political weapon, and what they've been claiming is that they use it to attack youngsters that attended the protests. That is what the Move Forward Party has been saying all along.
Okay, let's do this. You go through all the 200 and some cases that Kun Pita raised. If it can be made public, I guarantee you, all those other cases were defaming. All those other cases were insulting. All those other cases were threatening or feuding His Majesty. All of them. All the other criticism, which were real criticisms, the court dismissed all of those. All those actual comment cases, the court dismissed all of those. All those punished were all scolding, reprimanding, cursing, defaming, insulting, all of those. We can't even insult each other. We can't even defame each other, right? And in saying like what Move Forward was saying, Move Forward was saying that, hey, no more punishment by jailing, by imprisonment. Okay, fine. Let's say if it's a fine of 10,000, right? If I'm so rich, okay, I insult you 100 times.
Yeah, because you can afford
100,000
it.
each time, right? 100 times. What? I throw you 10 million, right? I can just say all of whatever I want to Kunat. I can threaten her however I want. And I pay her 10,000 each time. I pay her 100,000 each time. If I'm a billionaire, if I'm a trillionaire, I run around this country, I say bad words to the whole country, and I throw my money. You get it? What do you think of that situation? People were saying, well, in England they can do that. In the United States they can do that. In England they don't do this. They don't do like in this country. They don't run around saying bad words to people all over.
True, true.
In the United States they don't run around
think
saying
it's
bad words
more
to people. They
problem
run
with-
around shooting people.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
think
one
we could-
question though. Like previously, you mentioned in an interview that the problem with the move to amend this law
Yes.
is not just about the law itself, but you once said that the problem came from the mastermind of
Yes.
Move Forward Party.
Yes. See, the mastermind of Move Forward, especially when the person, okay, a particular person was saying only about French Revolution. I think the reality about French Revolution has never been delivered from the person.
no, but they cannot look at it and compare. The situation is totally different.
You can, and when you talk about revolution that took down the monarchy or took down the
Right.
king, you have what? How many countries? You have Russia, okay? You have France.
Yep.
You don't have that many countries. Italy and many others, okay? But very few. Why don't you compare to all the Scandinavian countries? Why don't you compare to England? Why don't you compare to, yes, maybe people
Japan.
were, maybe yeah, Japan. A lot of people were saying that. You see, if we compare to England, think about Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell came up and then he took the country to republic, but that was only 11 years. In the end, the people took it back to the kingdom,
Right.
took it back to constitutional monarchy, okay? And just talk about French Revolution. When the French Revolution was done, okay? The guy was only saying about Louis Antoine de Sous, something like that. I couldn't pronounce French too good, okay? And that was during the time of Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette, and all what
Right.
this. But has anything been told that after that French Revolution,
What
the
happened?
monarchy stands, there was still King Napoleon Bonaparte, and
Right.
all the others, all the way until Louis XIX.
Right.
And it took a very long time for the whole country to kill each other.
So the situation is completely different, and it shouldn't
Yeah.
really be compared with each
No,
other.
and that was about 300-400 years ago. If you talk about the United States, okay, that might be a unique country where last 200-something years they were shooting each other. Now today they're still shooting each other. Okay, it's a very unique country. It's a country in which they stage war from the beginning of their country.
Right.
Okay, now they are still staging war. Who knows? But not every country is like this. Okay,
Well, I think
and not this country.
at the press roundtable by the U.S. Embassy, he said clear that all democracy in this world are in the making.
Yeah.
It's and everyone has its own way. Anyway, back to 19. You were saying that.
So whatever happens, we come back to the 19th.
Yeah, try to come back to the 19th next week on Wednesday. So if we have the vote again, Pita didn't get again, eventually it has to end the session today, and they already scheduled the 20 to be the next one. And if it's 20 and nothing changed, they vote again, and we don't get it again, is it possible? Or is there any law said that you have to get it within how many
No,
days?
there's no law. There's no law forcing
Right.
when to finish it. But let's say this. If you force to be the 20th, I think you have to do something between running competitors or changing a person to answer the exam. You see, among all of us, let's say I was answering the exam and I failed the exam the first time. I failed the exam the second time. Now we will have to sit back, talk. Okay, Kun Nat, you and me, let's help. And if you do better, you go ahead, you be our leader. I think it will have to be that. Or, hey, Kun Nat, I'm not going to be with you writing this exam because I don't have the brain to do it. I failed 2 times. I failed twice. Go ahead, Kun Nat, you do it.
Is there a possibility that Move Forward already know what they're doing and already know what they're going to do, but they're just not saying it? Or they have to do soul searching for 5 days?
See, I was with a group of people. That group of people, I think they have contact with Move Forward people somehow. They told me that some of the Move Forward people said that we're not going to get it. They say we're not going to get it. We know we're not going to get it, but we just have to push it through the end. I think it's only. I think that's their strategy. I don't know their strategy, but for me, as I already said, that I don't think this strategy works, or I don't have the mind of them. Okay, their mind, their sense might be different from mine. I don't know what their supporter will be thinking, but I told many times in public, if they think that they will come out and instigating fear to the whole public, starting from demonstration all the way until riot, and they think they will win. No, the military will win.
Oh, yeah.
And what would be the best strategy for Pita if he wants to win next week?
Tied with Pheu Thai. Talk this through with Pheu Thai. That, okay, I know I can't get through. Do you think you can get through with me?
So you think the possibility of Pita get to be the 30th Prime Minister of Thailand is very, 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 very slim.
Yes, very. I think
Very
Fear.
slim. Then who would be a better choice then if it's not Pita, Pathongtan, Sethar, or anyone else?
You see, this is why I was saying strategically, talk with Pheu Thai.
Right.
Okay, just be open. Maybe talk to Thaksin because he's behind the scene, of course. And maybe
Right.
he's not really behind the scene. He's a little bit of the actor, but he's just acting in a way in which people
Right,
thought
right.
that he's behind the wheel. Okay, but let's say this: he's not behind the curtain, at least at home. You call him up. You talk to him. You do something that you can contact him if you think that he is the main actor. Okay, or you talk to Kun Pathongtan, Dr. Cholanan, Kun Sethar, whatever. Let's say now I think I'll fail again. Right? If this is our situation, do you have any other strategy? Let's say if you are candidate, which one of your candidate, but tie together, okay, and come tell the public that we talked with Pheu Thai already, but you see the difficulty is what? Pheu Thai already said clear, no one want to.
Right.
No one want to. See, therefore, at this moment, I think one of the House representative members talk very clear. Are we abnormal or are you abnormal? Your 151 members talk different from us.
Right.
So are we abnormal or are you abnormal?
It's just different. I mean, what is normal, what is abnormal.
Because
It's
the
just
guy,
different,
because
right?
the guy said the word pit pakati. Are we
Right.
pit pakati? Are you pit pakati? So therefore, I use the word abnormal.
And it's up to people's interpretation
That's
as
right.
well.
That's right. So the strategy will be talk to Pheu Thai, and if let's say Pheu Thai said, "Do you want me to be honest with you?" If you want me to be honest with you, I'll tell you. If we still have you the senators will never vote for you. All those abstain will remain abstaining.
I think from what you said, you already closed all the door for Move Forward Party. I mean, or you already show that the door is very difficult to
To
keep
be
open.
straightforward, I gave an interview on one of the TV channel,
Right.
and I said, firstly, 160. You get only 160. What are you gonna do? People say, oh, they're all coaches, tours, and all the cars coming to my parking lot. Okay, just fine. But you only got 150, 160 for real.
Right.
I think that was the first problem. Therefore, I said that strategically, you should be a very fine opposition. Okay, and you forming a coalition with Pheu Thai. Who's Pheu Thai? Do you know Pheu Thai?
Right.
Right, and
Do you know how much the guy has gone through?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
And
going
they're
to be
smiling
like-
right now.
that's Bonnie and Clyde. You see, they started Las Vegas. They're not simple.
it's going to be a tough position for the Move Forward Party and its coalition, and we will have to wait and see next week with the parliamentary voting whether it will fall under the same situation or things will change. But thank you so much for today for your analysis of what has been happening as well as the possible future of Thai politics as well. And if it's not over, we might have to invite you again for another round of analysis.
If you don't mind, don't die.
Oh,
Yeah,
anyway,
you have a point.
5 days on the 19th, there will be another vote, and we don't know if anything will be different. Probably, it has to be. The country have to move forward.
Just sing
somehow.
the song. Whatever will be, will be.
Exactly. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week if anything happens, especially with the parliament voting. So thank you so much, and สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ